delighted. This is the last demonstration of food and soul of the whole festival. So we are both elated and delighted to see you, and in some part kind of glad we've come to the end, because we've been cooking non-stop every hour on the hour since Friday evening. So, but it's lovely to see you all, and thank you very much for coming. How's it been so far? How's the festival been? Great. What's the best thing so far? Everything. Yes, that's the thing. Everything. Well, welcome to Food and Soul program. Some people come here and they say, well, that's a very funny mixture, having food and soul, because we understand about food. You need food to sustain your body. But where does soul come into it? Surely that's a different department altogether. And actually, in our experience, those things are very closely allied. And we find that what you eat and how you eat and what you think when you're preparing food has a real bearing on how your spiritual life goes. We consider the two to come together. Both what you eat influences your thinking, and what your thinking is influences your food. And I can see some mystified looks. Can this be true? What is she talking about? I'll give you an example. Supposing you were coming to my house, and you'd come a long way to come to my house, and I was thinking, oh, well, it's a long way. When you arrive, I'm going to have to make something for you, so you'll have something to eat when you arrive. And I'm just thinking, got this thought in my head, and I'm partly thinking, oh, goodness me, she'll be expecting to be fed when they arrive, oh, goodness me, what'll I do? And I've got some old bread in the fridge, and I get it out and slap out 2 slices like this, and while I'm doing it, my neighbour's dog starts barking and is annoying me, and I open my window and shout at the neighbour, and then there's a phone call over there, and it's about, have I got any PPI, whatever that is, and I have to say, listen to that chap, and then somebody else knocks at the door and tries to sell me double glazing, and I tell them where to go, and all of this is going on in my head, and I slap together these 2 bits of bread on them, some cheese I found in the bottom of the fridge, and a bit of tomato, and I've got that ready for you. And you better hurry up, because I like that. And then I stop for a moment and I think, well, you've come this long way to see me and you're going to be hungry when you come. I know I've got that nice wholemeal homemade bread I made, and I'm going to cut 2 nice slices of that. And there's some really delicious carefully cheese that you liked when you came before, so I'm going to cut some of that. And my BK friend who makes delicious chutney has given me some, so I'm going to spread out some chutney, and I'm making this sandwich here and thinking, when you come, I must get this ready for you. Perhaps you'd like a cup of tea. Okay, so then you arrive, and I've got 2 sandwiches here. Which one would you like? Why is that? They're both bread. They're both got cheese in. They're both got... Why would you like that second sandwich?
Because it's got love in it.
Indeed it has. Because I've been thoughtful, and I've had good thoughts to welcome you when you've come, to give you love, to give you care, to give you some consideration when you come. So it isn't only about the ingredients, it's about the thought that goes into it. And nowadays what they say is that everything has to do with the same thing. We're all made of one thing. We used to think we were all made of atoms, and now they've cut those up even smaller, and they've found that the atoms has got subatomic particles, and what are they all made of? Energy. Everything's made of energy. Bowls, cups, tents, grass, human beings, thoughts, all made of energy. But our energy is very different, because the energy that we have, the energy of the soul, it's thinking energy. We have control over our energy. We can direct our energy in one way and another. We can identify and look at the quality of our thoughts, and then we can change our thoughts. And in changing our thoughts, we can change the atmosphere around us. And you know this. You've seen the energy that people carry. You know what I mean by vibrations of somebody? Have you ever sat down to someone next to somebody on public transport, on a bus or something, and they're so fuming without saying anything, but you just know they're really furious, and you wish you sat somewhere else, And the same as the opposite. The opposite is also true, that you can also meet somebody who is so sparkling with positive energy and warmth that you want to warm your hands on them. You want to sit near them because you want to catch some of that positive, shining energy. So you know what I'm talking about, the vibrations and the energy of the individual. So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're talking about when we talk about food and soul and food and consciousness. And we're going to talk a bit more about that later. But for now, I'd like to welcome you to this demonstration and tell you how the afternoon is going to run, how this little section. In a minute, you're going to have a live demonstration. And this is very exciting because we tried this earlier and it didn't work because the gas cooker ran out of gas. And we sat there looking, and the manager who's doing the demonstration sat and looked and thought she'd never made a dhokra that took so long. But then we know what it is. So we're going to try that again, unperturbed. We're going to give it another go. And she's going to make, with her assistant Kusum, she's going to make dhokra, which is a savoury golden sponge Indian dish with some tomato chutney. And that's what they're going to do, and we will talk again in a while. So, Manju, Sister Manju, author of Pure and Simple, come.
Hello.
And you're really going to attempt to do this again, are you?
Yes, and it's definitely
Amazing.
going to work this time.
100% sure it's going to work again. So Manju and Kusum, I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay, let me turn this on
Kusum,
first.
will you find the page in Food and Soul and show everybody what it is that you're going to make? I see we've set health and safety to the winds and we're having live flames here.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon. Like Davina said, I'm going to show you how to make a savory steamed sort of cake. It's made out of gram flour, which is a chickpea flour, and rice flour. So we got, it's wheat free. A lot of people who don't eat wheat, it's also suitable for them. So here I've already got a mixture of a cup of chickpea flour. In the recipe you've got 6 ounces of chickpea flour and a couple of ounces of rice flour. It doesn't really matter if you put little less or little more. It still turns out very nice. The measurement doesn't have to be really accurately. I've already weighed the flour here together, and I've already put a teaspoon of salt in here, 2 teaspoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of citric acid. If you don't like using citric acid, you could use lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice to give that tangy flavor. In there, you would also put 3 tablespoons of oil. I use sunflower oil, but you could use also olive oil if you want, or any other oil. So we're going to put 3 tablespoons of oil in there. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of oil. Now enough water to make it into a nice thick batter, just like a pancake batter. And we need to whisk this nicely. Kusumben has been helping me making dhokras this morning. We made a lot of tasters for you, which you will have later on. So she's also very expert with it now. So just enough water to make it into a lovely texture. I'll show you what sort of texture you need. Little bit more water. And I forgot to put turmeric. Turmeric is not I did? I put already. I didn't mention to you, half a teaspoon of turmeric in there. That's how it should be. Now for dhokras you need a steamer, so you could use any wok that you have like this, big enough to fit in a plate inside. I've got a plate inside. This is my special tool to lift this plate from inside. But it's a really good thing to take this out from inside. You wouldn't burn your hands then. This is a special thing. So here I'll just put little oil, just a little oil to sort of, so it doesn't stick at the bottom. So I'm going to steam it in here. So just a little oil. You spread it all over. And now, whilst that is steaming now, the last thing that we put in here would be fruit salt. This is something that we use in dhokras because it makes it rise, it makes it nice and soft, it makes it like when you make a cake, you use baking powder and bicarbonate. Instead, we use, these fruit salts. So it is very essential. Otherwise, your dhokras will be very flat and, so it won't be very fluffy. So a tablespoon of in here. See, when you put in there, and then I will put little bit of oil, so it makes there'll be little bit of water. Thank you. I'm so tired now. I'm forgetting what's water and what's oil. There, yeah. Little water in there, and then Kusum will mix it up lovely and air it up nicely. So you can see. Yeah, it fizzes when you add water, so it airs the dough up nicely. Yeah. So usually you really beat it up, so put in the air, and then once it's done, you put it in the mixture here on the plate.
So you're pouring the dhokra mixture
In
into
this-
a ready prepared, slightly oiled dish, which is in a bowl of steam. It can either
Yeah,
be in
and
a
the-
steamer or in your wok.
Yeah. There should be water inside, I hope you know that, but there should be water underneath so that it steams. And I've used a clean tea towel to cover the lid up, so any steam that develops, it doesn't drop on the dhokra, so it steams, all the steam is soaked up by the tea towel. So I leave it there for 10 minutes and the dhokras will be ready. In the meantime, Kusum will show you the chutney that we are going to share with the dhokras.
Right, so I'm not making tomato chutney, I'm making green chutney, coriander chutney. So I'm sorry to be
Oh,
now-
that's okay.
Yeah, because they
I
know-
prefer the coriander.
Yeah.
More delicious.
Because the one before we did the demonstration, I made tomato and pepper chutney. So I've changed it now. So I've got coriander, chilies, and apple in it. And I'm going to squeeze lemon juice. Say about 2 tablespoons. And then you're going to put sugar in it.
About how much sugar would that be?
That'll be
Kusum?
1 teaspoon. And cumin powder, roasted. I roasted the cumin and then ground it. So grounded cumin powder, roasted.
That makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Better than
You
just
can,
buying it out of a bottle or
Yeah,
something.
I've got really hot chilies here, but you can use the mild one, which are not too hot. Right, and I'm going to pour a little bit of water. And this is the trick. I'm going to use a tiny drop of oil that will keep chutney green. Just a tiny drop. So, but that's it, not much. And I'm just going to put in the grinder. Right. I'm going to do one more time because I've got to stir it well.
Delicious smell of fresh coriander. I
And a
can-
drop of water as well. I love this stalk on the coriander because it's such a good flavor in it. So I'm not going to take the stalk out. It's used every bit of coriander. you see, I'll just
Smell the coriander.
now I've just
Oh,
put
delicious.
1 teaspoon of sugar, but if you like a little bit sweeter, you can add another half a teaspoon. And you can add even lemon juice if you like more bitter, lemony chutney.
Decorate it with a nice curry.
Curry leaves.
Beautiful.
It's lovely.
And there's another you can put if you're not allergic to nuts. You can put roasted peanuts in there, and they'll be different. But I didn't make any. I didn't put any peanuts in the other chutney, so I'm not going to use it here. But you can use peanuts. This is it, green chutney with dhokra. Thank you.
The rice is still steaming.
It's coming. You can store in the fridge. It will last about 4 days. You can freeze them. You put in a container, freeze a container, and that will last for 3 months in there. Mm. Yes.
You
Not the
can get
cake.
it from
It's
supermarkets.
not the cake.
Enos.
Anyway,
You can buy it from supermarkets, pharmacies. Yeah.
You don't use it in the cake though.
That's right. It's
Not in the cake.
fruit salt.
Don't use it in the cake.
Now, just explaining about Enos, it's a very unusual recipe, and some of us are only familiar with using it when we've had stomach upsets or hangovers. But it's a very useful, it's a raising agent, and what it does, because we don't use egg or in any of our cookery as a raising agent, and it's so what it does is, as Manju was explaining, is it adds lightness and bubbles, and when you come to taste the dhokra, you will see the great magic that the little amount of Enos can work. It is, but what would you answer to that
Dhokras,
question?
bicarbonate soda won't work as well as the Enos work. Somehow it doesn't, because you're steaming the dhokras, it doesn't work in the same way. So bicarbonate won't do the same job as Enos does. Can I just explain one more thing? Have you got another question?
Instead of roasting seeds, can we use cumin powder?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
But when you roast it, the flavors
the
come
flavor.
out and it's better. It tastes better. So any spice, if you roast it and then grind it, is much better. Just while it's cooking, just one more little tip. You can also make this same dhokra. If you don't want to use it in a steamer, you can make it in the microwave. So I've got a little microwave dish like this. The batter that we made, it's in the same way. You mix it all up and just put it in here. And this is in the microwave with the lid on for 10 minutes, and your dhokra will be ready. So this is an instant dhokra. But I find that it's a little bit drier than how you would make it on a steam. But if you eat it straight away, it's fine. So a quick recipe if you use microwaves. It's a really quick dish.
10 minutes is a long time in the microwave. Is that on full power?
Yeah, my microwave is full power is 900 volts. Mine, so we put it in for 10 minutes. Yeah. Now let me see if my dhokra has steamed up and it's done what it should do.
Wow.
Yeah, ready.
Way well done, Manju.
So I'll use my special tool to take the dhokras out. Show you
Look
how
at
it's
that.
worked up. It's become a little bit slanted because of the
Because of the
floor.
table.
But it should be nice and flat normally. So now I would put this somewhere on a nice, I need a space to put it somewhere. Yeah, there we are. Beena, I just need Beena to take this away for me, please. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm going to show you one more tempering, which we do now. Now that the dhokras are ready, I would slice them when it's cool, and then I'm going to do a tempering, which you would put on top for flavoring. So here I put a little pan which I have for tempering. In there I would put a couple of tablespoons of oil. Right. When it's hot enough, I would put mustard seeds. Mustard seeds. You will see, and then when they pop up, you have to wait. I always use a lid because they pop up everywhere in when you're cooking. It's still not hot enough, so we'll have to wait for a bit. This is what flavors the dhokra, you know. But if you don't want to do this process, if you want a healthier version, what I do is when I mix my batter up, in there I would put some chilies because I like hot. I mean, you don't have to put chilies, but you could put some coriander inside. You could put some other. I think coriander will only go here, and chilies will go. So mix it up, or ginger also. So you can mix it up and then steam it, so that you have a nice flavored dhokra. Then you can get away without doing this. Then it's nearly ready. It's nearly there. You can hear it popping. Can you hear it popping? So what I'll do is once the mustard seeds have popped, then I'll take it off the gas. Okay, I'll take it off the gas now, and then you put. Can you put some sesame seeds in there? Couple of teaspoons of sesame seeds. You cover the lid. I'm not leaving it on there because then it burns the oil. The taste of it won't be so good. In there you put some curry leaves. A few curry leaves. In there some green chilies if you like. Chilies are optional. Some green chilies. And then can you smell? I would put lots of curry leaves. I love curry leaves. I love the smell of curry leaves. There we are. You can smell it nice. So this is your tempering ready. So then could you help me cut this? Just cut a bit. Just okay. So you'd normally cut it into lovely squares or diamonds. Because it's not cool enough, we can't cut it properly. But okay, so now I pour this on top.
You're pouring that tempering
Tempering oil on top of the dhokras.
And the curry leaves and sesame seeds are dropping into the flavouring the dhokra.
And when you cut it into slices, all these flavorings go at the bottom as well. And then you spread it like this, what Kusum is doing. Okay, we are not doing it very well because we haven't got the right tools at the moment. Okay, so now on here you sprinkle some lovely coriander. If you want a little bit of more decorations, you can put some desiccated coconut. It's just like decoration on top, you know. So okay, this is your lovely dhokras ready.
If that isn't too hot, if you can hold it up and show it. Wonderful.
This is a very popular Gujarati dish from India.
I never cease to amaze that your dhokra turns out wonderful anywhere you cook it, even in the middle of a field. It's quite amazing. So thank you very much, and you'll all have a chance of sampling some of Kusum and Manju's dhokra at the end of the program. Okay, thank you very much. I'll leave you to clear that away. And I'm always interested. It's interesting watching other people cook, isn't it? And particularly people who follow this way of life and are meditators, which both of them are for a long time. And I can see all kinds of qualities. Did you notice that kind of patience they have? Complete calm. Earlier on we had this, at one point, dying completely because there was no power, well, there's no gas, and another time almost bursting into flames. But not a single thing, no worries about it at all. And so interesting to reflect on what kind of qualities that there are that you would need to be a good cook. What kind of qualities do you think that you'd need to have to be a good cook? Patience, absolutely, because you've got to wait for things to be done, you've got to wait for things to rise to cook and all of that. So patience is a very good quality in cooking and in life. And what other kind of qualities do you think? One at a time, sorry? Calmness, yes, indeed. I think that's very good. Because, as I was saying, the qualities that you have when you cook are what goes into your cooking and what other people can taste.
Generosity.
Generosity is a good one because you're going to give your cooking to other people, aren't you? And you're spending your time and your energy in cooking. What other things might you like? What qualities might you think would be good for a
You
cook?
want to cook.
Imagination.
You want to cook, so willingness, wanting to cook, enthusiasm and imagination, absolutely. Sometimes one needs to have a lot of imagination when you start cooking and find you haven't got the thing that's required. You've got to look in your cupboards and see what else there is.
And care.
And care, yes, that's true. To be careful because you're dealing with potentially dangerous things, knives and heat and so on. So you have to be careful.
To not overly worry about getting it right or wrong.
That's absolutely true. I think I'd call that easiness. Would you say that was the good quality? To be easy and not worry whether it's exactly right or wrong, however that is. I think that's a very good quality. So you've suggested some good qualities in a cook, and they're good qualities for just living our lives. And what we discover when we practice meditation, and I hope you've all had a chance to experience some meditation in the afternoon, yes? Everyone's done some meditation, good. Then what we find when we meditate, when we go to that quiet place within, we find that we've got access to all kinds of qualities. We have every quality you could think of. Even if we think we don't, we've just forgotten them. They're there buried away. So I'm going to play a little game with you now and invite you to join in, which is, the girls are coming round with some qualities. The sisters are coming with some box of qualities and inviting you to pick one out. So have in your mind what quality you're going to pick. What's it for? Is it to help you with your cooking? Is it to help you with your relationships? Is it to help you with your work? With your personal development? With your life? Have that thought in your mind and ask the question and then see what quality comes to you. So I can see some people very pleased with their quality, smiling and very happy. And I can see some people a little mystified about their quality, thinking, I wonder why that one came to me. So, interesting. Who's got a quality that they really like and they think would be good for cooking? You have mercy and you have patience. Okay, so you know about patience. Okay, what do you think would be, how does mercy apply to cooking? A minute for less chilies, that's funny, yes. Depends on who you're cooking for. I'll tell you what I think. I would say that if you are cooking as a vegetarian, then that's showing mercy to other creatures, isn't it? We're not hurting or harming anybody in that. Has everyone got a quality now? So reflect on the quality that's come to you. Think why has it come to you, that particular quality? In my experience with this game, sometimes you see straight away, you know why you've got it. Sometimes you have to wait a day or two and then, ta-da, you know why that quality came to you. So if everyone's got a quality, would you like to turn to your neighbour and tell them what you're going to do with your quality and ask them what they're going to do with theirs? How are they going to make use of it? Okay. So you've had some interest, some I can see you've seen straight away how you're going to use it, and some have been a bit of a puzzle. So let's see what we can do about that. This lady in the front has just got a quality and said to me, I don't see how I'm going to use that in my cooking. This is the quality. Say what your quality is that you got. The quality of obedience. How can that help you in your cooking? Well, I would say follow the recipe. Absolutely. Obey what it says going through. And also, as well as following the recipe, when you get really good and confident, all the cooks that you've heard today would say, when you know your recipe, when you feel confident, put away your cookery book. Just cook with your heart. Cook. In fact, it's the hardest thing because, you know, I've told you that the recipes that you're hearing today and that have been demonstrated over the festival weekend are all up on the festival website. So you'll be able to look at them. But the hardest thing has been to get these cooks to give a recipe because, you know, they don't cook by recipes. They cook by a grab of this and a jigger of that, and I've got some of that and I might as well put it in. And so to get them to do something like a recipe that somebody else can follow has been a challenge. But it's all up there now. And so obey for the first time, and then after that you're on your own. Explore, experiment, be creative. What other qualities have you got that are of interest or that you don't know what to do with them? Sorry? The quality of detachment. Well, I would say there's two things that you can do with detachment. One is you wish for detachment because you don't want your things to stick to the bottom of the pan, now do you? So you want it to be attached to the bottom of the pan. And the other quality, the other way to use that quality of detachment, it's quite often misunderstood, that quality, because we think of it as being cool or disinterested or cold person. They're detached. But actually that's not what we mean when we talk of detachment. We talk about doing something with love but without expectation. Because if you make something for your family or your friends and you make a recipe and then you give it to them, but you're listening out for them saying, oh, thank you very much, or that's very delicious, or whatever, then it's not pure unconditional love, is it? It's expecting praise or reputation or thank you or I'll mow the lawn, now you've made my face. You know, they're expecting something. So being detached, in other words, doing something in a loving way and being detached from the outcome, detached from the other person's reaction. So it's just done with love and given with love. Okay? Any other qualities that you have that are of interest? Sorry? Purity. Well, purity is a wonderful quality to connect with cooking because we mean cleanliness and pureness in all ways, and a great way to start. I've watched these girls do it, so I know that whenever they start to cook, they make sure that everything is wiped down clean, and they make sure that everything is all ready to go. And can you see that first of all you'd want to use pure ingredients, you'd want to be sure that there are clean ingredients and that they are what they say. And also that you'd want to have your mind clear as well. You wouldn't be wanting to have angry thoughts or wasteful thoughts or in any way distracting yourself. Because as we've suggested, the quality of your thoughts is going to go into the food you prepare and is going to be actually tasted by whoever you cook for. So just being able to clear your mind and have a quiet space is a lovely thought. And in fact, I think that's yes? I was just going to say that's a good cue for what we're doing next. But last quality, yes? Contentment. Now, wouldn't that be a beautiful quality to have? You know that if you are contented, you know that contentment, the thing about contentment is it's contagious. Have you observed that? That when you are contented, what happens is that other people beside you and near you become contented. And if you can imagine putting that in, I would put in loads into your cooking, loads of contentment, because if I'm content and I give that quality to what I do, then those who take from that and those who eat that and share that will hopefully in fact, definitely share that quality of contentment. So let's, before we just have our samples over there, let's spend some time thinking about going into that quiet space where all these qualities are available to us. So you remember how we do this? Remember, just put your feet on the floor, rest your back against your chair so that your body doesn't concern you. It's just sitting there comfortably and at rest. Let go of the things in your hands so that you're not distracted. Let your hands lie in your lap. You can keep your eyes open, fixed on a point ahead of you, and take a deep breath just to relax. And as I sit here in stillness and silence, knowing that around me is the stillness and silence of this beautiful park, and inside is an even deeper silence. It's the silence and serenity of my innermost self, where I, the soul, reside in quietness. And when I come to this quiet space within, letting go of the concerns of the world, turning down the volume of the noise of the world, then in my quiet inner space, I can come to meet myself, my true self. I can experience and access all the qualities that there are. I can find the exact quality I need for every event, every challenge, every situation in my life. In this quiet place, I can come when I'm with somebody who challenges or irritates me. And in this inner space, I can connect with my own quality of understanding, of patience, of compassion. And when some problem in the world makes me think, I can't do this, I don't know if I'm able, I can come to this quiet space within and connect with my own wisdom, my own power, my own understanding. And all these qualities are within and easily accessible when I come to this quiet space to taste the tranquility that is my true nature. When you prepare food, when you cook for yourself or for others, before you eat, before you serve, spend a moment or two in this quiet place, giving thanks, giving blessings, being grateful that today you have enough to eat and enough to share. Remembering this quiet place, remembering you can return here at any time you wish. Put a marker here so you can return. Enjoy that stillness. Bringing that flavor of that experience back with you. Return now to this room, this field, this place, this time in the here and now, and the company of each other. Om Shanti. Now I'm going to ask the sisters to come out with the freshly made dhokra and bring it round to you so that you can all have a taste. And as well as that piece of dhokra, made as you saw, with good humour, lightness and love. As well as that, there's going to be a gift for you, which is a bookmark, which has another quality on it. It's a little blessing on it for you to take away with you. So you are very welcome. Right, they're just coming out now to hand round. And I think I've told you about the cookery books. We've mentioned those, and they're over in the festival gift shop if you want to go and have a look at that. Are there any other questions? That's right, at the festival website, look at the cookery programs, Food and Soul, and you'll find the recipes there. Okay? Okay. So the dhokra's going around now. Any feedback on the food? How is it? I'm looking at the front row, but they're just all going, that's all. Oh, that's nice. Good. There we are. So you saw how easy that was once you bought your Enos. And we hope you'll try it at home. And remember that important extra ingredient, the piece to add to it. Right, does everyone have some? You put up your hand, the rows that haven't, then we can see. Okay, here, the rows over here, thank you.
Lovely quality of lightness to it.
Lovely and light, thank you. Gentleman says how light it is. And a lovely colour too, golden. That's turmeric. Didn't take too long to cook, perfectly true. Okay, everyone. Yes, there's a question there? It is. It is. Full of energy and light. Okay, does everyone have some now? Two very patient ladies in the middle there. Okay. All right, if everybody has some, I'm going to ask the Food and Soul cookery team all to come into the front.
Everyone has?
Everyone got? Yes? Can you all come to the front cookery Food and Soul team? So that you can see that even though they've been cooking since the early hours and serving and talking and teaching and everything, that they're still here and they still have shining faces and a big smile and a blessing for you all. Come to this. Thank you for your company, thank you for your time. And you can take the good wishes and blessings of, I want to say my thank you to this lovely Food and Soul team, tirelessly making things so that you can enjoy. It's what we know, that when we know some good thing, then we just like to share it with you. And we've enjoyed so much doing that this weekend. So thank you team, you've been a wonder all. I just get to taste everything. Thank you very much all. And what we'll do...
Thank you for letting me know.
Right, that's it. Yeah, say goodbye and we wish you a safe journey back. Are you going to go to the meditation? Yeah. Okay, we'll see you over there when we've cleared up. Om Shanti, goodbye and see you again.